Hi, good morning, Dr. Bob Flower, and this is Tuesday, June 25th, your Master Pattern Report. Well, we've taken a leave of absence for a couple of weeks, get some business, get some research done, and in the meantime, our commodities market fell apart, with the exception, of course, of oil. And the reason why that's going up is because the dollar is in the process of tanking, which nobody seems to be addressing, but they will very soon, because what I think is going to happen here is we're going to lose a good deal more on the dollar value, and that is going to reach a point this year that where you're going to see the commodities make a sharp rebound. Will gold and silver bounce back? Yes. I think you're going to see a bounce here very shortly. We were looking for a bounce up to around the $25 level, $24.50. We think it's going to happen in two stages. First, I think we'll cover up to about the 22.22 level, and then up to around the 24.50, 24.60 level not too long after that. When will that happen? Well, the moves, we could tell you the direction, we're still working on that. But we do see a move coming up tomorrow in silver and gold. And we're certainly hoping that it's going to bounce back, but it's doubtful. This market is sick right now. It's it's trying to make a rally, but if you're a student of economic philosophy, you understand, or you have to understand, that the market is driven by avarice and greed and stupidity. It's not driven by intelligence. At different points, the only intelligence is when it's being manipulated, okay? And that's certainly going on in certain markets right now. However, what we're looking at is, as we said right along, this is not, the stock market in particular, is not a retail market any longer. Right? It's mostly the players, all right? The heavy investors, the flippers, the in and outs, and the pros on Wall Street. And everybody knows the same thing, and it's very thin, even though the volume is heavy. There are not that many players, so everybody knows everybody. And when the market starts up, everybody buys from each other. But when the market starts down, there are a lot fewer people around to buy. So the regression of the market is much heavier, right? And that's what's going on. And you're going to see this. It's going to make some meager attempts here to regain some strength. But as we said from the beginning of the year, we expect the first 3 quarters of this year to be very chaotic, and towards the end of the year, last quarter, we think it'll be much better as things happen, because especially in Washington and in governments throughout the world that are going to foster change. They're going to have to do things, and keep in mind that, for instance, what you're seeing in Brazil right now, the riots against, quote, big government, you're seeing that worldwide. And Turkey is another example. These are socioeconomic pressures that are coming to bear. And although the United States does not have the same problems that countries of that type and that level have, we have the same mentality. And that's exactly what's going on. This whole thing about privileged rights, economic rights, especially what's going on with the immigration thing, is devastating. It's absolutely devastating. And let's hope that they come up with the right bill to help these people, but at the same time, not to hurt the country, not to hurt the people who have put in their time and power and whatnot. You know, we all have friends and colleagues and workers. I mean, there's 11 million aliens in the country, and in some way or another, we seem to touch on knowing some of these people, and for the most part, they're very good people. But by the same token, you know, it's like somebody who has 8 kids, and you know, barely able to survive, and all of a sudden, you know, 3 of his grandchildren or 3 of his nephews want to come over and live with him too. You know, how much can you do? How much good can you do? You know, there's a limit to that as well. And that's sort of what's going on, you know, with the whole economy, with the whole country right now. Where people are more investment oriented right now than they are scared. They're concerned, but not scared yet. That things have gotten a little bit better. Okay, you know, for instance, in real estate, we're seeing you know, a very strong move in most markets. But there is concern still. Right? People are not quite jumping in, and that's good. That's very good. But by the same token, it's leading us to a very unhealthy economy. We're not, without this QE infinity, we're not getting anywhere, and the whole the bond market all over the world is tanking like crazy. Even China has gone through some chaos with this thing. And like we had said last month, this bond market, it doesn't, you don't need the Fed to say that the rates are going up. All you need them to do, which is what they have done, is imply that at some point this is going to happen or that's going to happen, and the market's responding. And that's exactly what's going on now. Everybody's saying, well, you know, this time next year the rates are going to be going up, and wow, gee, that's not good. Or the purchase of these this bad paper, the bad mortgages and loans and whatnot, is going to stop, or it's going to slow down. Gee, man. So in any event, as I often say, reality is not what we think it is. It's a lot different here, folks. Keep your powder dry. I would be a buyer of some commodities in here. Of course, keep this in mind. Right now, the strongest commodity seems to be oil, because there is such a need for it, and because it does govern the world, and because the dollar is so weak, and getting weaker, and that to me is a key. Watch the dollar, because that's going to generate a lot of pain and suffering if it tanks the way it has been tanking the past 30 days or so. All right, we're going to do this again next week. Silver and gold tomorrow, oil on Thursday. We're looking for a move, you know, a spike move, so either up or down. You have any questions, send it to us, www.drbobflower.com. Okay, have a good week, and we'll see you early next week.